Well, here comes the tough road warrior, a Mexican, Mario Portillo. He kicked off his career with a string of wins in and around his home country before coming to the UK and being in some good and tough, hard, competitive fights. There are more wins on his record than there are losses, and we're about to find out what he is all about.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Joe Tyers.
And here is Joe Tyers from Darlington, here in the UK. The 24-year-old makes his pro debut tonight after a solid amateur career, winning multiple national titles, Box Cup championships, and representing England at the Commonwealth Games in 2022, and Team GB in competitions all around Europe. A big moment for this lad here in Nottingham this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Chris Dean. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing blue trimmed with white and weighed in officially at 136.2 pounds. Coming to us from Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, he brings a professional record consisting of 8 wins, 7 defeats, 2 draws, 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mario Portillo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black, silver, and purple, and weighed in officially at 134.2 pounds. Hailing from Durham, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Joe Tyers.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. I want to see a good, clean fight. Say break, stop punching, take 1 pace back. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, good evening and a warm welcome to the Motorpoint Arena here in Nottingham. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and my co-coms, Royston Barney Smith. In the black, silver and purple shorts is Joe Tyers, making his professional debut tonight against the Mexican Mario Portillo. Mexicans are always tough, isn't that right, Royston?
Yes, for sure. He's coming out nicely, Joe, though, behind the lead hand, pressuring him well. And it'd be delighting to see what the former GB star is all about.
I always wonder how much of a place that will find in terms of when it comes to professional boxing, because we always hear about how they're 2 different sports, but he's clearly well schooled. You can see that from the first few seconds of this round.
Yeah, for sure. He's working behind the lead hand, very nice. He's keeping them under control, and he's boxing nicely here.
I'm sure the nerves are flowing for Joe Tyers, but it won't be long and he'll be getting into his groove. The Mexican just stabbing away to the body there with that lead jab of his from the orthodox stance in those blue and white shorts.
Yeah, he's a tricky little fella, as you could see there. He's got not bad movement. Nice jab by Joe.
Good right hand got through there from Portillo.
He just needs to just keep his defence up a little bit more, Joe, and work behind that lead hand. That's nice. Look, just like that.
Just as you said it, he did it. Nice jab, short jab, turned that left hook over, and the breathing will just start to come in place, and he'll hopefully just get into his groove and start feeling comfortable and let his boxing do the talking.
Yes, for sure. I wouldn't mind him to see him go down to the body a little bit more. That was a nice body shot there, just like that.
Good structure to Tyers' stance and guard. Just trying to suss his man out here in the middle of the arena here in Nottingham. Big moment for a debutant.
On such a big card as well, he's performing nicely here. Closing seconds of the opening round, and it's a cracking one to go as that.
Portillo, the Mexican, just missing there. And I think the reason he is missing is because Tyers is just starting to work his man out there. He's just starting to gauge his distance and his space right, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. He's working nice behind the lead and just taking his feet out of distance when he needs to. I'd just like him to see him just follow up a little bit more in his work instead of just pausing to see what he's going to do. Just take control a little bit more and just relax.
What sort of instructions are you after when you get back to that corner, especially in your debut, because the nerves are flowing, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. Your heart's racing. You're thinking, oh my God, I'm in my first professional fight here. It's just the greatest feeling in the world, and he's doing very well. What I would say to Joe right now, I'd say just do the same again. Just follow up your shots a little bit more and just apply the pressure, and you get the job done.
Well, Joe Tyers there, making his professional debut. A good opening round so far. Did plenty of good stuff. Just looks like was getting into it at the end of that round. And here we go. Second round, this one scheduled for 4 in the super lightweight division. Former podium squad member Tyers certainly knows his way around that boxing ring. It's that nice tight guard and just picks his shots beautifully.
That, just like that there. I like what he's doing there. He's feinting to the body and he's bringing it up. That's exact.
Tyers just taking hold of the centre of that ring. And that's good work there. Going upstairs and then coming downstairs with that right hand straight to the body. He throws that right hand to the midsection well.
Joe's just judging his distance at the minute. Just trying to close the distance.
That was nice there from Tyers. Missed that first shot, but then just dipped that lead leg of his and then tucked that uppercut under the right elbow of the man from Mexico. This is good work. It's a well-disciplined, mature performance here in his professional debut.
Yeah, for sure. He's picking his shots well. Nice selection. Not too rushed. He's doing a great job.
One of the things the Mexican is doing well, Mario Portillo, is he's not really backing away much. He's kind of standing there and making sure that Tyers is aware that he has got an opponent in front of him and he is live. So he's making sure that he's got his wits about him. And these Mexicans, 99 times out of 100, they are tough contenders, and it'll be no different here.
Yeah, for sure. He's had a few fights already in Mexico, like you were saying. He's had a lot of wins, and to be honest, he's calling on Joe now. I don't think that's a great decision. Joe's a very good boxer, and he has been for a long time. He's boxed at the highest levels in the world.
Ty's got a bit of a smile on his face now. Looks like he's just starting to enjoy this now, and that is hopefully what a professional debut should be about, is enjoying it. Of course, the win is the most important thing. And these are good shots now. Putting his shots together nicely at the end of that round there, Royston.
Right at the end, he was catching him nice there.
You were talking about Portillo calling him in and inviting him in for a bit of a fight. Has Joe got to be a bit careful of that stuff, not to get too carried away? I know it's low down on this undercard, and it's, you know, it's yet to fill up in here, but the adrenaline can get the better of you, right?
Yeah, sure. You want to stay composed in situations like that. They're here to try and throw you off the game and try and nick a win here and there. And Joe, as you've seen, Joe never took the bait, come rushing in slowly. Because at the end of the day, this is professional boxing. If you get hit wrong with these small gloves, it will put you out. And Joe, I've got to say, he's doing a great performance here, sticking behind the lead and boxing nicely.
He is indeed. Well said, that man. And one of the things which you top amateurs, especially these guys in Team GB, have experienced is boxing all around the world and coming against almost every different type of opponent you can possibly think of, and almost experiencing every trick in the book. But the pro game is a bit different. But Tyres looks like in the first couple of rounds that he's enjoying it. And that was a nice left hook, short left hook from Tyres to kick this third round off, this penultimate round here in Nottingham on this massive card, which will be topped by Anthony Cacace and Leigh Wood later on for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. And
that
what a cracker that's going to be.
That was. He's dropping the backhand to the body now. He's done it a few times, and now he's going to start looking to bring it up. Just like that.
Good right hand there, got through from Tyres, but Portillo comes back and just catches him with a left hook and reminds him once again that he's here and he's a live opponent. Bit of an alley shuffle a minute ago from Portillo.
He's enjoying it in there himself, I think, at the minute.
Good work off the jab from Tyres. Consistently stalking his man around this boxing ring. Hasn't taken his eyes off him for a single second.
Joe just needs to stay focused here and not get brought into the antics.
Well, Tyres certainly the man more in control of this fight, and he's dictating the tempo of it.
The pace, and he's doing well there. He's keeping his man under control on the back foot, and it's been a good debut so far. And I know he'll be wanting the stoppage in the next round or any part of this, so let's see if he can produce it.
Good consistent pressure here from Tyres. He's just ever so slightly on that front foot, up in the tempo, up in the pace, controlling everything about this fight. And every time a couple of shots come back from Portillo, Joe Tyres lets him know that he's the boss and he's in charge. And that was a nice right hand to the body just a moment ago. A good end to the round from Mario Portillo. He strikes me, Royston, as a sort of character that could do quite a few rounds. He's just one of those tough guys that will go nowhere unless you really hit him on the button.
Yes, for sure. He's he's a tough, durable man. As you can see, he's fighting back in there, and he's a live opponent. And it's good to see young fighters fight people like this, like Joe, who on his first fight. So he knows what it's all about. He can dictate where his career is going to go off from here, because he's fighting live opponents already. It is risky for a prospect fight, but Joe, he's boxed at the top levels, former GB podium, so he knows what it's all about in there, and he's doing a great job right now, just getting the rounds in, and I know now he'll start thinking, I'm going to get this guy out of this, so it'll be good to see how he goes about it.
Well, the fourth and final round in this one, in the super lightweight division. Joe Tyers making his professional debut. If you've just joined us on DAZN on the Queensbury feed, you're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and Royston Barney Smith. Don't worry, you haven't missed too much so far. Plenty more fights coming this evening. 7 more on this undercard. The biggest YouTube show, if you want to call it that, which Queensbury have put on. And then it's the main card from 7 p.m. live on DAZN. Good educated pressure here from Tyers.
He's just putting a little bit more into his shots now, and it's working nicely. Picking his punches. Working that body nice with that lead hand.
Beautiful stabbing jab straight to the midsection from Tyers. As you said, Royston, he's just starting to put a little bit more on those shots, a little bit more spice each and every moment as this round goes by and as this fight has gone by.
Yeah, for sure. He's starting to settle down now in there and plant his feet a little bit more. It's good to see.
Good right hand there from Tyers. Just snuck that one over the left hand of Portillo.
Lovely check hook there coming in. I think that might want to have hurted him.
It's got a bit of an awkward style, has the Mexican, Mario Portillo. He kind of switches stance and it's quite unorthodox, to tell you the truth. His feet are a little bit of a mess, but sometimes those sort of fighters aren't the easiest to fight, are they? Because they're not what you're used to.
No, for sure. When you're boxing correct boxers, where they you can sort of figure them out a bit more when they fight more conventionally. Like here, he's crossing his feet, and that coming at you is a bit different. So Joe just needs to just stay relaxed, keep composed, and just keep doing what he's doing.
This is good, consistent pressure from Tyers, who's just upped it little bit by little bit as the rounds have gone by in this 4-round contest in his professional debut. The last 15 seconds to go, and I'm sure it'll be a performance which he'll be pleased with, but stuff that he can go back and improve on as well, because there is always little things to make the best of and improve on.
Yeah, for sure. He's had a good debut here, and definitely a lot to look on. And that's the great thing about boxing. You never finish when the fight's done, and you go back and learn a lot more. And he should be very pleased with that performance there. He boxed very well.
Well, he's achieved so much in his career so far. Like you said, Team GB podium squad. He won the Box Cup Championships 5 times, 4 times national champion. Been all over Europe boxing some of the best people in some of the most obscure styles you may ever see in the sport. And that will, without doubt, have played a part in the type of fighter which we're going to see going forward and the type of fighter which we saw tonight. I'm sure it'll be critical of parts, but I'm sure and I hope that he can have his chin up and look at that as a professional debut that went well. And I'm sure he's got the decision here. But Thomas Triver just getting the official score from the referee who was scoring that contest. And he'll just bring the two fighters together now as Thomas Triver is posed and ready, microphone in hand. So let's hand over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Chris Dean, scores the contest 39-37 for your winner and successful in his professional boxing debut, Joe Tyers.
Well, 39-37, Royston. It wasn't necessarily a walk in the park. He had a live opponent in front of him. He caught him with a couple of shots. What do you think he'll take from that performance, Tyers?
Firstly, go back and probably think I could have done a couple of things a lot better. But overall, it was a good performance. But yeah, there's a lot to think about there, and he's going to be happy with the things he's done in there, and the things that he will have to pick up on.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring, Jacob Leskovsky.
Well, a familiar face on the away circuit is Jacob Leskovsky. Out of his 35 defeats, only 3 people have managed to get it done in the scheduled rounds. He's been in with some top talent here in the UK and in Ireland, and he's one of those away corner fighters who is very good at making 4 rounds feel like forever. And I'm sure that's exactly what his plan will be this evening.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Hughie Malone.
Well, the noise has just gone up here in Nottingham for Hughie Malone, making his debut tonight. An extremely talented amateur. He won multiple national titles and represented his country on numerous occasions. The well-schooled 22-year-old from Coventry has been around the world of Team GB, but his pro journey starts here in Nottingham tonight, 50 miles from Coventry. And we're about to find out what Hughie Malone is all about. But he's definitely one of those fighters whose name has got louder and louder as his amateur career has progressed. And I'm excited to see what he's got when it comes to the pro game.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Chris Dean. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 141.1 pounds. Coming to us from Śląski, Poland, he is a veteran of 39 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob Leskovsky. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing multicolored trunks and weighed in officially at 139.5 pounds. Hailing from Coventry, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Hughie Malone.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. I want to see a good, clean fight. I say break, stop punching, take 1 pace back. Protect yourselves at all times, touch gloves.
Well, bout 2 of the evening in this action-packed undercard on a great card here in Nottingham, and another debutant. Jacob Leskovsky out of Poland, boxing in the red and white shorts against Hughie Malone in the pink and blue, quite multicoloured shorts actually. Trained by Joe Gallagher and managed by Matthew Macklin. So good company there in the corner and beyond for Malone. And he's just starting this round well, Royston, in terms of getting on the front foot and showing Laskowski who's in charge.
Yeah, for sure. He's come out very fast here, and I like to see it. He's setting the tone very high for Laskowski, and if he can keep this up, he'll definitely get him out of there. Even though he's only been stopped 3 times, it'll be a big feat in itself to get the job done in that type of fashion.
Good body shots there from Hughie Malone. Boxing has been his life for as long as he can remember, watching boxers and all the great fighters on the TV. So this must be such a magnificent moment for him, making his pro debut, something which all you boxers dream of. And here it is for him. And again, I'm sure those nerves are there, but he's looking good. Those feet are looking well. He's just tapping away there, just putting his shots together nicely. And that was a nice right hand over the top of the left hand of the Polishman.
I like his feints, what he's doing there, and working off his feints is nice, and he's got good variation of punches as well. He's got a big arsenal, as you can see.
Looks ever so relaxed as Malone. Looks very comfortable in there indeed.
That was good feet there by Maloney. Got out of the way there and come straight back. And yeah, very nice off the lead and working off the feints is good.
Good right hand over the top there from Laskowski, but Malone keeping him guessing at all times. You picked up on his feet, and his feints are good as well. And he's making the man from Poland think at all times, which can be tiring stuff.
That was a nice body shot on the inside there, and yeah, going back to that, if you keep your opponent thinking and under pressure, it takes it more out of them than the actual punches do.
It's a mental game as much as it is a physical game. Good opening round here from Malone. Boxes well off the back foot as well. That's an observation which I've made almost straight away. He can clearly punch going forward, but really, really nice boxing on his back foot, Royston.
Yeah, for sure. As you just seen there, just before the closing first round, he was moving off nicely on the angles.
It's not easy to do that, is it? For anyone who's boxed, it might look like it's easy, but throwing a selection of shots on your back foot while you've got someone walking towards you isn't the simplest thing in the world.
No, it's not, because you got to think under pressure at the time, because you think they're closing the distance on you. You're thinking about what shots to throw to get you in a better position in the ring, and like you're seeing there, he's got nice ring IQ. He got himself back to the centre when he was on the back foot, and yeah, it was a very nice opening first round.
Well, he's clearly well schooled. As we mentioned in his ring walk, he's done a lot in the amateur game and boxed and beat the likes of Cameron Vong and Jack Turner and George Liddard and many other top talents who we're now seeing in the professional game. And a very welcome addition to this weight category as well. And there is the bell to symbolise the start of this second round, and Hughie Malone straight out on that front foot. Just feinting with that jab all the time, keeping his man thinking. He does not look like a debutant.
No, for sure. He's boxing very composed right now. He's coming out on the front foot, nice and aggressive. Not coming over his front foot where he's leaning, but just a bit of weight on the front foot where you know he's in front of you, and he's looking to hit you with some nasty shots.
You're the boxer here, Royston. When you look at him, does he look like he's trying to set something up a bit bigger and a bit more nasty?
Yeah, for sure. When he's popping that jab out, he's looking for him to overreach and probably counter him and then follow it up to the body, and just like that there. And then he's getting back onto the lead hand. So he's looking to catch him with some nice shots and work his man up and down.
It's a good observation, and he does throw that lead hook to the body very well, and Laskovsky is a bit of a switcher himself, and the majority of the time he's in that orthodox stance, but if you just watch him, he'll switch to southpaw and then switch back, but Hughie Malone making the most of it and has caught him under the elbow with that lead hook of his on multiple occasions already, and we're just 2 rounds in.
That's a lovely jab he's throwing there. Just setting everything up for him like that did there, just knocking his opponent off balance and letting him think about it, and he can get his shots off from there.
I asked somebody who follows the amateur scene very closely, how do you describe Hughie Malone? And he said to me, he is an aggressive, high-volume puncher, and that is certainly carried over to the pro ranks, because that's what we're seeing. He's not throwing exactly punches and bunches every single time, but he's certainly thrown a good few shots in both of these rounds so far, and he's keeping his man occupied, both mentally and physically. Shots upstairs, shots up downstairs, and doing it well. Good shot selection.
Just getting to his man a little bit more now, just thinking a little bit more, just waiting in front of him, and it's good. It's very good the way he can get him moving when he wants him to, and getting his shots off.
He's certainly in full control as we go to the last few seconds of this second round. This one's scheduled for 4. How do you think he's feeling? 2 rounds in, professional debut, keeping his man guessing, landed some good shots. He's doing plenty well, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. If I was Hughie Malone, I'd be thinking I'm doing a great job right now. He's very, very pleasing to the eye the way he boxes. He throws punches and bunches. He can also box on the back foot a little bit. What's nice to see. Yeah, he's a good rounded fighter, and I can see why he beats some good names in the amateurs, and it's the pro ranks now, and he's knowing what it's all about, and he's doing a great job at it.
Well, Laskovsky's been in there with some good talent in the UK and Ireland. Thomas Very, a very good fighter in the amateurs as well. Campbell Hatton, Henry Turner, and many others. All of those have taken him a distance, and in fact he has been stopped 3 times in 35 defeats, but no British fighter has been able to get him out of there yet, and I'm sure Hughie Malone is aware of that. And he's straight out on that front foot again. I love that. There's no mucking around from him. Straight to the centre of the ring, and busy again, starting this round in the same way that the last one ended. Good work from Malone upstairs and downstairs immediately. Just watching Laskovsky, when Malone puts his shots together, his kind of eyes flutter because he just doesn't know where those shots are coming from, because he really is switching up the levels and the angles at all times. And I think it's kind of a bit of an overdrive on his brain, on his boxing brain anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Just then he was working his man up and down again, and keeping that lead hand just in front of his face. So it's like sort of like a blinding jab. So when he flicks the lead hand, he don't know what's going to happen next, because he punches very well on the lead foot, and he throws punches and bunches as well.
Have you seen anything from Laskovsky so far that Malone needs to be careful of, or do you just think he's in full control, and not that there's nothing to worry about, but there's nothing which he's not prepared for in terms of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, for sure. He's got he's totally in control. He's doing what he wants, really. He just needs to just watch out for little things, just switching off a couple of times here and there, and you get catch with the odd leaky shot. But when you're as composed as he is now, it's in a flow state where everything's just coming off just nicely.
Perfectly put. Malone boxing really, really well here in his pro debut. Looks like he's enjoying himself, going through the motions and going through them well. Laskovsky looks a bit hesitant to try and make an entrance because he has been caught on multiple times when he's tried to do so. And that was a good screw shot there from Malone. The referee just telling both fighters to watch their heads. We don't want any cuts. Got the feeling that Laskovski's starting to get a little bit tired now. It looks like he's trying to get in and grab hold of him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to start feeling the pace now. It's been a pretty high-paced contest, and Huey Malone is in good shape now. He's got a great trainer, and his trainer would definitely make sure that he's fit enough for these 6 rounds to push the pace and get Laskovski out of it.
What do you think, Joe Gallagher, legendary trainer, very well experienced trainer, will be saying to his man in the corner there? Because, like you pointed out, he's doing so much well. What do you want to hear as a fighter, I guess? Maybe that's the question.
When you're in that situation there and it's going in your way, your trainer will start saying to you, start pushing the pace, start being on top of your man a little bit more, start being a little bit more physical with him, and where in the sense of when he grabs hold of you, sort of trying to budge him off and try and pick up on little things, cutting him off in the ring, making him think more, and it chips away at the opponent, and that's when the stoppages come.
Well, let's see what those little adjustments are after the break in between rounds there. And Malone starting this one again in the same way that he finished the last one, and that is on the front foot, busy with those hands. Great body work there from him. He really just stings that body whenever he wishes to. He sneaks that left hook round the right elbow of Laskovski, and then he dips that right straight hand into the body when he wishes to as well. This is a really good professional debut so far. One of the really good things about when it's relatively quiet in an arena, when you've got these kind of undercard fights late in the afternoon, is you can hear everything around you. You can just hear Joe Gallagher shouting out the instructions there, and can see the eyes of Malone as he processes those instructions and then puts it into practice.
Yeah, like I was saying, now he's starting to push back his man a lot more, and Savalski's starting to cover up. He's starting to run out of ideas, and he's looking to just try and frustrate him a little bit, trying to call him in, and it's not working. So I've got to say a good job by Huey Malone.
Nice straight right hand down into the midsection from Malone. It's going to come out ungrazed at the moment because defensively he's boxed so well as well. Fair play to Jacob Laskovski, who's been on the front foot more in this round than he has in the previous rounds. But Malone is adapting well. Again, boxing really nicely on that back foot. He's former Team GB star, Huey Malone. Laskovski really having a go here.
Yeah, I like the movement out of Malone there. He was listening to his coach when he was saying, come back, counter punch, move again, and he was listening to it correctly. So that's also what you want to see as a professional. You want to see your fighter listening to what you're saying, because when you're in that ring, the best advice you can get is off your coach. And if you're listening to it, there's not really much can go wrong if you prepare correctly, and the plan is coming together well, and as that is happening in this contest right now.
It's a really good point. That is, you know, one thing is listening, the other thing, and the most important thing, is being able to put that into action. Do you have times as a fighter when you go back to the corner and your coach says to you, Royston, he's doing this and this and you need to do this, and you know it already, but you just needed to hear it from him? Sometimes is it a bit of a reassurance thing? Yeah,
for sure. When you go back to the corner, when you've had weeks of preparing for fights, it's drilled into you mentally, and that's the great thing about it, is that when you're listening and they're just telling you just to tweak this and tweak that, and it comes into play so much more better on the night, and that's what's happening here. He's boxing well.
He's boxing well indeed, and if you're just joining us, welcome along. Our second fight on these prelims card. We've got 8 in total. Another 6 after this. And our last fight in the prelims will be the British and Commonwealth and former European champion Sam Noakes, who's knocking on world title doors. And then the main event, or the main card, sorry, will start on DAZN from 7 p.m. and there are some crackers on there, which will conclude with Leigh Wood versus Anthony Cacace. We're in the penultimate round now of this one. Hughie Malone's professional debut. And he's been consistent throughout. And a very good body puncher.
He's boxing nice here. He's pushing his man back, working on the inside, catching and countering. And he's doing a good job at it. As you can see there, he's threading one through the middle and then bringing it up. Even though he's walking forwards, it doesn't matter. These shots are taking toll on him to the body. As you can see, he's getting a bit frustrated. He's trying to have his last hurrah. And Hugh Malone's doing a great job at boxing right now and keeping it in the pocket.
Well, Laskovsky definitely trying to put the pressure on a little bit more, but just isn't good enough to have enough success with it for it to make an impact, because as he starts going more on the front foot, we're seeing Hughie Malone just adapt and overcome almost every little thing which the man from Poland is trying. He boxes just as well on the back foot as he does on the front foot. Standing his ground here in Nottingham. And there's that left hook under the right elbow once again. Joe Gallagher, just a bit more authority in his voice. He's just telling Malone to get back on his jab. And I guess a bit of a subtle message behind that might be, don't get too carried away. You're boxing well.
Now another comfortable round from Malone that was. He boxed very well. Just at the end there, his coach just told him to get back on the lead hand, because Silvosky was trying to cover the space and trying to smother him, where not the sense to tire him out from hitting him, just being in front of him tires you out sometimes. And as Joe Gallagher picked up on that, he was telling his fighter to get back to what he was doing good and back to what was working. So it was good to see that, and it was good to see again by Malone listening to that.
As I have said a couple of times, we've got some great fights coming up on the undercard here this evening. A couple of debutants and some real good amateur standouts. Haris Akbar is another one which you really need to keep an eye on, and Charlie Senior there as well, the third from the bottom, who won bronze for Team Australia in the Olympics in Paris 2024. We've got a real talented undercard here before the main show, or the main event card starts at 7 p.m. Really good work there from Malone.
Yeah,
put his shots together beautifully, didn't he then?
Yeah, and especially he started the rounds off like he has done through every round. Nice and controlled, conserving his energy in the centre of the ring. That was nice work there, touching him up twice and dropping him onto the body, and then following up again.
Just get the sense that Malone just starting to put a little bit more venom into these shots as we're in the 6th and final round of his debut fight.
That was a pretty shot there when he come in, a nice short right hand as Vossi dipped his head. I would like him just a little bit more, just maybe slow the punches down and sink him in a little bit more, just like that there. That's lovely work.
Good pressure from Laskovsky, who in the last few rounds really has, you can't deny him of trying, he has. He hasn't got through with much, but he has tried to pile the pressure on. He's had his chin tucked into his chest and he's been trying to make some sort of entrance in there, some sort of way, but Malone has just been far too good for him, in my opinion. Nice sneaky little lead uppercut there from Malone. Can throw shots in the tightest of angles. Laskovsky just walking forward. Well, last 10 seconds of Huey Malone's
pro debut.
Yeah, done well.
Done very well. Good finish as well.
Well, good stuff there from Huey Malone. Joe Gallagher just gives him a bit of a nod to say well done. But I'm sure there'll be some viewing of this fight, and there will be plenty that the pair of them will pick up on and will learn from, as well as his manager Matthew Macklin, who obviously operated at the highest of levels in professional boxing, and that will play a big part when it comes to a young fighter in his professional career. But I tell you what, that was a very impressive professional debut. Did lots very, very well. Good feet, punches in bunches, good shot selection. Clearly showed that he could box both on the front foot and on the back foot. And we look forward to seeing how he progresses as the years go by. Not the easiest game in the world, but Thomas Treiber has the scorecard in his hand, and we'll pass over to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Chris Dean, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner and successful in his professional boxing debut, Huey Malone.
Well, I'm not quite sure why, but Huey Malone looked a little bit relieved when Thomas Treiber announced that he was the winner there. I'm sure he knew he was the winner, But there we go. First fight over and done with. And big thanks to Royston Barney-Smith for joining me in the first couple of fights. Now joined by the British and Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, Louis Edmondson. Good to have you.
How are we?
We're all right, we're all right. Is it weird being this side of the ring rather than being that side of the ropes?
It makes a difference, it definitely does, but just being here, just itching to get back in there.
Do you know what, all the fighters that I speak to when working ringside, everyone says the same thing. You're a different breed, you lot. You'd rather be on that side of the ropes, and I get it. I'd quite happily be this side of the ropes when I see what you go through. But anyway, the action continues. Back to Thomas Triber.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Darwin Martinez.
Well, Darwin Martinez, out of the 8 wins that he has picked up, 6 of them have come by way of knockout. And like all the fighters we've seen from Nicaragua, he is as tough as old boots. And the last man to get him out of there before the sound of the final bell was Liverpool's Andrew Kane. I mean, that's expected, right? A tough man indeed. But he takes his job very seriously, and it'll be no different tonight. Just like all the Nicaraguan fighters that we see in British boxing rings, they come to fight and they come to win.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Nico Lightning Levars.
And here is Nico Levars, 6-0 as a pro. He achieved a lot in the amateurs, representing both Team GB and Team Italy. The boxing has been his life ever since he remembers, and this is yet another stop on the journey of a 25-year-old who continues to work hard and make a name for himself in this extremely difficult professional boxing game. He looks focused as he just gently makes his way to the ring there. It's a job like no other. He just steps into the ropes, and I'm sure he's looking forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the Super Bantamweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, and scoring this contest will be Kevin Parker. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white trimmed with purple and weighed in officially at 128 pounds. Coming to us from Managua, Nicaragua, he is a veteran of 39 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darwin Martinez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue, black, and gold, and weighed in officially at 124.6 pounds. Hailing from Mansfield, England, he is undefeated with 6 wins, 1 draw with 1 win, coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Nico Lightning Levars.
Gents, you both know the rules. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, here we go, bout 3 of this 8-card undercard. Action-packed here in Nottingham. Darwin Martinez from Nicaragua in the white and purple shorts, and Nico Levars in the blue with the yellow. Both fighters straight to the centre of the ring. And just before our mics are brought back in, my co-coms Louis Edmondson pointed to Martinez and said, he's tough him.
He sure is, isn't he? And there's no shame in getting stopped by Andrew Kane, that's for sure.
Good work here to kick this round off from Leigh Wood. Nice and relaxed, clearly. Just owning the centre of that ring, or attempting to anyway. Trying to keep busy with that jab, but I tell you what, the man from Nicaragua, he's sharp, and he looks confident, relaxed himself.
Been there many times, isn't he? It's nothing new to him. Good shot there, good left foot around the side.
Good, tidy work there from Leigh Wood. Aesthetically pleasing straight shots.
Very, very sharp.
Leigh Wood's trained by Grant Smith in the Steel City gym. Of course, the home of Dalton Smith as well, Grant's son. Some good boxing out of there. Talent breeds talent and all that. But I tell you what, these two look relatively well matched so far, Louis.
He's games they come as he always is. He always gives it 100%, and he's not just there to roll over tonight, Darwin Martinez, but I think he's going to have his work cut out tonight.
Beautiful shots there from Leigh Wood. Right hand to the body, right hook, and then just turn that uppercut straight from that right hook, and he did it well.
He's felt a few now. Lovely body shot there. Lovely uppercut.
Well, Leigh Wood looked like he's complaining. I guess a headbutt there, Louis. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I think it was a head clash. Luckily, there's no cuts. Very good feet. Leigh Wood are in and out of range. Lovely.
He looks like he's meant to be in there, does Nico Leigh Wood. Just gently, just moving around that ring. Beautifully popping that jab out, and everything comes off of that jab. And he turns that left hook over lovely and really beautifully with the lead uppercut as well.
Right hand over the top there.
But one thing's for sure, and which has become apparent and clear in this opening round, Louis, is Leigh Wood has got to be sharp, and he's got to have his wits about him, because the man from Nicaragua, he can match him when he wants to.
100% he has to stay switched on at all times. I think he's fair to say he's levelled above, but he'll stay switched on and get the job done.
What do you think Grant Smith in the corner are saying to him at the moment?
I think he's early on. It's a six-rounder. I think he'll probably have another round like that. He'll start going through the gears later on.
But that's what these fights are about. As you go up the rounds and you just get used to the 6-rounders and the 8-rounders, and eventually you make the 10s, and of course if you're good enough to make the 12s like my man to the right, then the apprenticeship will serve you well. And this is bout number 7 for Nico Leigh Wood, and he will learn a lot from this regardless of the outcome.
You see, regardless of the result, this Darwin Martinez loves every minute of it in there, doesn't he?
You've got to love these away corner fighters. They just travel around, not even Europe, just travel around the world, going to different people's backyards and have gloves and gum shield and get on with it, don't they? And there's so much to learn from them. And that's a really nice, sharp jab that Leigh Wood has got. I don't know how quick it looks for you watching at home, but from a few feet away at ringside, it is sharp.
Try there from Darwin Martinez, just caught in the glove by Leigh Wood. Lovely body shot. I think he's definitely starting to go for the gears now.
Tiny little boost of energy here in Nottingham, because Leigh Wood's just starting to have a little bit more success with those shots. Many of them in the previous round were just falling short or landed on the gloves. A few got through, but it just seems that he's just starting to have a touch more success here. Good left hand from Martinez, which landed on the right glove.
He's not here to roll over, that's for sure. But whatever Grant Smith and Dalton Smith said to him in the corner, he's definitely come out of a rocket.
Lovely left hook there from Leigh Wood, timed it beautifully. And there was a shot downstairs as well, and he felt that one. That one, he's for certain. But he bites down on his gum shield and just tries to keep himself back in the fight there. And that was good work there from Leigh Wood, who for a couple of straight shots upstairs and dipped his legs and threw that left hook to the body once again.
Oh.
Martinez just trying to sneak that lead uppercut.
Just wants to be careful going for the stoppage here sometimes with a tough guy like that. It's early on.
The last few seconds. It's been a solid round this for Leigh Wood, who's put his shots together really well. But Martinez finishes the round strong and just reminds him he's still there, he's still live, and he's still a problem.
I think he switches off for a little bit, Darwin Martinez, and Wood gains momentum, and then all of a sudden it bursts out, so he just needs to be a little bit careful with that.
What does Leigh Wood need to be careful of when it comes to Martinez?
I think he's gaining some momentum, and he's winning majority of the round, then all of a sudden Darwin Martinez will burst out with a little spurt that seems to be landing sometimes, so he needs to stay switched on, even when the shot's coming back.
And I tell you what, I bet that's the information which Grant Smith and Dalton Smith and the team in the corner are giving Nico Leigh Wood.
It's easy to get complacent sometimes when you're having a lot of your weight, and then boom, out of nowhere, these little gloves sometimes that can be all it takes, so it needs to be switched on.
All switched on. He's straight out the corner is Nico.
I think he's going to come out fast this round, Nico.
Just pressurising Martinez onto the back foot, controlling in terms of the direction that his man's going. Don't know about you, Lou, but it looks like Martinez isn't coming out all guns blazing like he has beforehand. He seems quite happy to just be on his back foot 60-70% of the time.
Definitely, I think he knows.
Do you think he's been hurt?
I think he's been hurt around the body a little bit, and he's fully aware of how sharp his opponent is, so he's gone a little bit negative now. I think he might get a little breather, then have a little burst again, so we need to be careful with that.
And that's where it comes to that complacency which you were talking about, because it's easy to get like that when you're having your own way, but that was a really good body shot which came off the back of that straight 1-2. When he has a go, does Martinez, but it seems to just spur Leigh Wood on each and every time that he has a tiny bit of success.
100% just looks to wind him up a little bit.
Oh, lovely right hand there. That one really thumped.
Be careful with that.
Martinez just trying to sneak that left hook behind the right glove of Leigh Wood. The last few seconds of this third round, this one scheduled for 6. And Martinez being a bit negative there, which you picked up on in the opening round there. It's kind of changed the fight, hasn't it, really? Because I don't feel like Leigh Wood is coming on like he was in the previous rounds. He seems like the type of fighter who needs fire to kind of match it.
Yeah, definitely, and sometimes it can be a little bit, what's the word, he needs a little bit of something to box against, being very negative, but then he spurts.
Bit of purpose.
That's it, but then sometimes he's spurting out with 3 to 4 shots, so you can't just come forward recklessly because he will fire back, so he needs to come forward with caution like he is, but it's hard sometimes to pin somebody down because they want to be pinned down.
Well, we'll see what the next round brings. A relatively animated corner there in the blue corner of Nico Leigh Wood. Grant Smith giving him plenty of instruction, which I'm sure he'll do his very best to put into place. Referee just having a word with the corner team of Darwin Martinez as they were a bit late getting out and the action couldn't continue. She's just giving him a firm talking to.
Nice body shots there again. Been working the body very well from the start.
Good sharp jab there from Leigh Wood. And it seems that it's his jab, Louis, that helps him really control this fight in terms of tempo, pace, where he wants his man. That's the shot which everything comes off, isn't it?
100%, everything's coming off of that lead hand, whether he be touching, whether he be feinting, whether he be firing the jab. Lovely right hand there as well, followed by the left hook. He seems to be stalking him now. And here the corner calling for him to high guard pressure from here, so I think he's going to get stuck in and try and get him out of here now. Oh, he needs to be careful though.
He does indeed, because that was a solid right uppercut followed by a lead hook from Martinez. Once again reminding his man that he is there, he's live and he's up for it.
Lovely jab there again.
Leigh Wood throws really, really nice 1s and 2s. Do you want to start seeing him putting some 3s and 4s together? Or do you think there's too much danger in getting risk in the process? Or getting hit in the process, sorry.
I'd like to see him maybe touching a little bit more, a few more feints and picking the open shots. But everything seems to be the same tempo at the minute, so I'd like to see a few tempo changes, but boxing very well.
The last few seconds of this round now. Certainly hasn't had it all his own way, Leigh Wood. But has been the better man so far for me. It's got to be a bit demoralising sometimes, hasn't it, Louis, when you've got a man as tough as that in front of you, and you've hit him in the head, you've hit him in the body, you've hit him with your best shot, and they just kind of smile at you. You can just see the colour of their gum shield.
I've had it myself a few times. I mean, with some of these guys that they bring in, and they're made of stone, they just don't go anywhere.
What is your mentality when that happens, though, as a fighter? What's going through your brain? You're just thinking, just going to go through the process, just going to carry on doing what I'm doing?
100%. Like some fighters are not just going to go, you have to break them down over the rounds, and you're not just going to go with one shot. So you have to take a different approach to that and start breaking them down over the rounds. And if it doesn't come, hit and not get hit, and make sure you're winning every round. Well,
there may not be enough rounds to get Darwin Martinez broken down, but he has been chipping away, has Nico Leivas, as he tries to move to his 7th win. Well, this one, the penultimate round of this one, scheduled for 6. Both fighters with a bit of urgency about them as they come out the corners. Leivas looks like he's just doing little bits and pieces to try and get Martinez to commit, and then he's countering him on his entrance, isn't he? And he's doing it well.
Yeah. It's hard to work out because sometimes Darwin Martinez is coming forward and sometimes being very negative, so it's hard to put a little plan in place for him, really. He's unpredictable.
The same thing isn't going to work every time, is it, with this one?
Definitely not. Here, Grant Smith calling for them touches as well that we were talking about earlier on. Lovely right hand there. Oh, heads.
Martinez chucking his head in, and I've got to tell you, that didn't look like it was accidental.
No, definitely not. He's going for it now. Lovely uppercut there from the bars. Grant Smith calling for them touches again. Whoa, ref, that's terrible.
And the referee will certainly have a word now, because that's the second time that's happened this round.
That's not on that. No sportsmanship in that at all.
The referee just having a word with Darwin Martinez to behave himself. And I guess that comes from just a bit of frustration more than anything, Louis.
I think so, but it's yeah, it's not
uncalled for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, don't want to end up with a big cut there. Could hold him back many months, you know. To be aware of that head. I'd like to see him just being a little bit more careful. Don't want to end up with no silly cuts off of Martinez. It's uncalled for.
Got caught there, Leivas. Left hook from Martinez. Who just lunges forward at the end of that round there. But coming up later on, we do have some really good fights, some very good fights indeed. And Ezra Taylor versus Troy Jones is one that you will certainly have your eye on. You might even be sick about talking about it so far, Louis. What are we saying?
I'm really looking forward to that fight, and I'm hoping Ezra Taylor comes through, because I want him next. I want to be the man to dethrone him and show everybody what I'm really about. So I really want to have a close eye on that fight. I'm hoping Ezra Taylor comes through. really want that fight next.
Briefly, why do you two not like each other?
It's been going back and forth for a long time now. He said some stuff about me, I've said some stuff about him. He believes we're beating me, I believe I'm beating him. In fact, we know we're beating him, so we want that and we want to show everybody. It's a real fan favourite fight.
After your last fight, he was in your changing room. You going to do the same tonight?
We'll see what happens, we'll see what happens. He's got to come through Troy Jones first.
He has. He's got a tough fight. He's got a live opponent in front of him, and so does Nico Levars in the 6th and final round here. It's taken a bit of a unfortunate turn with headbutts and just being a bit naughty, to tell you the truth. Stuff we don't really like to see in boxing. But this is good work in the opening part of this 6th and final round from Levars. He's putting his shots together well, Louis.
100%, and both men have come out and they mean business, and this round's the final round, and I think it's a little bit personal between these two after them dirty moves, you know, and both of them want to look like they want to dig down and have a go now. So should be careful when they approach Levars.
Lunging forward that right hand, Martinez. Good footwork there from Levars. Eyes on the prize.
Good shots there from both men.
Both throwing shots of venom. They've both certainly got the hump with each other.
100% they mean business. Good shots there again. One minute left. Good body shot. From where we were sitting, it looked like it landed.
Good, nice work to finish the round from Levars, but Martinez responds. Levars looks, I know we're into the last few seconds of this round, but he looks like he really has sussed his man out now. He knows what's coming and when it's coming 95% of the time. Just soaking it up there. He believes he's done more than enough to win this. Big smile on his face. And a good performance against a very game and a very tough opponent. But you learn lots from those guys, right?
Good 6 rounds back there, and we'll probably be happy for the rounds later on. Tough game opponent. He's in control for the whole fight really, but good round fight.
After this, what do you think he'll be? What would the process be? You're the fighter here. I guess they'll sit down, they'll look at it. How do you fighters look at these fights? We say learning fights all the time. What is it you learn from them?
I think it's around being a game opponent, tough opponent, 6 rounds there back. But yeah, probably be looking for a step up after this, so yeah, I think it's a great opponent.
It was, he won't forget this one in a hurry. It's a shame about a couple of the antics in there, but a solid performance, a very game opponent, and Thomas Triber is ready to give us the official scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Kevin Parker, scores the contest 60-55 for your winner. And still undefeated, Nico Lightning Levars.
Well, congratulations to Nico Levars, who just poses there with his team. Big smiles as they pose for the cameras. And another stop on the journey of a talented fighter who already done so much. But here we go, we're ready for our next fight.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Dimitri Dima Prokunas.
Well, Dimitri Prokunas from Estonia, very much an away corner fighter who's built a reputation for being practically unmovable. 28 people have tried, and let me tell you, they really have tried, and only one has managed to do so. He's tall, rangy and robust, and he'll be a good test for young Joe Cooper here in Nottingham.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Joe Cooper.
And taking his time, here is Joe Cooper, the showstopper as he calls himself, just 19 years old. But you wouldn't believe it if you spent a bit of time with him. He's got the attitude and the aura of a man who's been around the pro game for a very long time.
It's a good ring walk there. He's lapping up every moment. He's really enjoying it, and very good talent. I'm excited for this one.
I tell you as well with Joe Cooper, as he's his own biggest critic. He's performed really well in his 3 previous fights, but he always tells you after what he can do better, and I like that about him. And we'll see how his 4th fight goes in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Chris Dean. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black, trimmed with red, and weighed in officially at 162 pounds. He has 20 professional bouts to his credit and comes to us from Narva, Estonia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dimitri Dima Prokunas. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with orange and black and weighed in officially at 163.4 pounds. Hailing from Essex, England, he had a stellar amateur career and now as a professional is undefeated with 3 victories. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Joe Cooper.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. I want to see a good, clean fight. I say break, stop punching, take 1 pace back. Protect yourself at all times.
Well, a bit of a hug there from trainer Joe Gallagher to the young fighter Joe Cooper in his 4th professional fight, boxing in the white and black shorts against Dimitri Prokunas of Estonia in the black and red shorts. A tall and rangy, and let me tell you, robust fighter indeed. Cooper straight out on that front foot, trying to take the centre of the ring, nice and relaxed. And he's got a good steady jab to him, Louis.
Lovely sharp jab there. Again, another very tough opponent. His jab's firing straight away. It's nice.
Ultra relaxed is Cooper. Doesn't for a second look like he's going to get carried away in any moment at all. This is just generally the way that he fights. He just knows what he needs to do and has got a particular way in doing it. And so far, so good. Undefeated. Just 19 years old, which is young to be in this pro game. But the amateur scene isn't for everyone.
Very compact there as Dimitri. He's not open for much, so be interested to see how he tries to make the openings.
You're right, he's got a good tight guard as Prelims. That's what he does with all of his opponents. He's kind of a big character and just stands there. Big structure to him. And again, can look a bit unorthodox at times. But I've seen people hit him with everything in the kitchen sink and he's gone nowhere. Well, so far, Louis, Prelims is just allowing Cooper to do what he wants, isn't he? This is almost a bit like the opening round of a sparring session, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely just getting warm. I'd like to see Joe start working off the jab now, maybe bringing a left hook around the side and then go from there. But first round, very good. Nice jab.
The jab is almost the only shot which he's thrown so far, but he's just measuring his man up, just trying to gauge that distance. And again, these early fights in these fighters' careers are so important. They're all about learning, especially when you're as young in the fighting game as Joe Cooper is. The boxing runs in his blood for sure. He's a cousin of Billy Joe Saunders, who of course achieved a lot in professional boxing and may well be making some form of return, we hope. We'll have to wait and see on that. You'll probably know better than us.
He's actually my manager, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's coming back. Joe's brother Charlie, very good as well. So yeah, boxing family.
Boxing just is one of those sports, isn't it? It's one of those ones that tends to run in a family. There's very rarely just one person who does it, who's involved in it. This is what you tell me, you're the only boxer in your family.
Just me, and then my little cousin's coming through as well. Very good fighter.
Nice overhand right there from Joe Cooper. Would like to see him just start upping and going through the gears a little bit now. Nice, solid right hand there from Cooper.
Again, as you said earlier, he's very, very tough, Dimitri, and there's not many openings there.
And for a big man, he makes himself very small, doesn't he? Got a tight guard, those elbows stay tight into his body, and those gloves stay tight to his face. Not many openings.
Nice uppercut there.
Cooper found one.
A lot of jabs there to bring Dimitri's hands up, so I'd like to see something off of that.
Joe Gallagher, I don't know how much of this is being picked up on the ringside effects mics, but he's just kind of talking Joe Cooper through this fight. Almost every, not thing which he needs to do, but just steering his fighter on the way through here. And Cooper is responding and doing exactly what he's saying almost every single time, which is good to see. Prokunas yet to really try and make any form of attack, and I don't know if that's just because the jab of Cooper has just disrupted his flow, and every time that he's tried to, I say it, and he almost goes in for one there, but the straight shots of Cooper have done well in terms of keeping his man at bay. That's what I'm getting at.
Definitely, and sometimes I think it's their hardest opponents when they're not really trying to win and they're just tucking up, they're very compact, very negative. It's a bit frustrating for Joe, it looks like.
But as a fighter, what's going through your brain when you've got someone like that? Because you've used the word complacency, and rightly so, not necessarily just in this fight, but the previous fight as well. It must be really easy to become complacent when you've got someone like that in front of you, and then all of a sudden, something can come out of nowhere, right?
Definitely come bursting out, but Dimitri doesn't even look to be doing that really. He's just tucking up, negative, so there's not really many openings. Like to see him touching Dimitri's gloves a little bit more and trying to work off of that, but it's a hard opponent to look good against, that's for sure.
Well, round 3, this one scheduled for 4. And Cooper just straight out on that front foot with that jab which he throws so nicely. And the corner of Cooper just reminding him everything comes off of the jab. And nice to see an attempted attack from Dimitri Prokunas.
Nice body shot there.
Prokunas didn't like those very much. One left hook to the body and one right one, and he got himself off the rope sharpish. Cooper just having his own way here with these straight shots over and over again. Not too many of them are getting through, but Dimitri Prokunas barely thrown a punch in this round. You must have heard me, Louis, because all of a sudden he started to do something.
Yeah, little swing and a hook there from him.
Well, very much the same as what we've seen in the previous rounds there. The man from Estonia not doing too much at all, or giving Cooper too much to think about. But the main card is not too far away now. Owen Cooper versus Chris Congo will be a cracker, and Chris Congo looking in great shape. Cooper coming off that fantastic fight with Echo Esserman last summer. That really was a great one. And then Liam Davies, who I've never seen look so content, looking very happy in boxing against Walker. And then the one which my co-coms Louis Edmondson looking forward to the most, probably for business reasons more than anything, Ezra Taylor versus Troy Jones. And then it's the big one, Anthony Cacace versus Leigh Wood, two of the nicest fellas in boxing, who I'm sure won't be very nice to each other when that opening bell sounds. But plenty coming up live on DAZN from 7 p.m, so make sure that you stick around, and there's more action to come on the prelims as well. Joe Gallagher just shouted for his man to switch on there. It's been an uneventful contest, this. Not really giving us much to talk about at all. Corner of Cooper just shouting for him to just up a tempo ever so slightly and start putting a bit more weight behind the shots. That's hard, Louis, isn't it, when you've got someone who's so negative in front of you? You can't look good against someone like this, can you?
No, that's very, very hard, very hard.
Good body work there from Cooper. And again, the Estonian stays around for no man and gets himself off those ropes.
It's tough as old boots and very negative with little openings. It's, yeah.
I sense that when we speak to Cooper later on, he'll be a tad frustrated with this one.
I'm sure he will. Just
long old camps, and you don't really get to show what you're about when you've got an opponent like this.
It's hard. You can't show really what you can do when there's nothing coming back and there's not many openings, you know. At the same time, he doesn't just want to rush it and be falling in and looking silly, but it's, yeah, he's not giving him much to work off.
Good sharp jab and right hand over the top there from Cooper. He had his man stood still for a second, but he soon woke up and got himself out of there.
Calling him on there, bit of frustration. I better be happy to get that one out of the way and move on.
Absolutely, I'm sure he would have been happy to hear that final bell there. Bit of disappointment on his face, I'm sure not for himself, Cooper, but more for that fight. Certainly not one we're going to watch back in 10 years, but they can't all be barnstormers, can they?
Definitely not, and it's job done, on to the next. Well, that's it.
Well, Cooper clearly got plenty about him. But he just needs the right person in front of him to bring it out of him, and that'll come. That'll definitely come. He just needs the right opponent, the right time, and as these rounds go up and as the fights go by, I'm sure we'll see it. But Thomas Treiber is posed and ready, so we'll go to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Chris Dean, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner and still undefeated, Joe Cooper.
Well, as expected, Joe Cooper gets the decision and he moves to 4-0. And we will catch up with him later on and speak to him about the fight in the future. But just 19 years old, long career ahead, hopefully. And hopefully some good live opponents, because that one certainly wasn't.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Octavian Gatti.
Well, here comes Octavian Gatti, who's been on the scene for just over 10 years now. And in that decade, he's had 94 bouts in which he's only been stopped 3 times. He's boxed all over Europe and brings a wealth of experience. And to say that he knows his way around the boxing ring will be a bit of an understatement.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Hurricane Harris Akbar.
But I tell you what, this has been a long time coming for the Bradford man, Harris Akbar. He decided to turn pro after the Olympic dream was just not meant to be. And he hasn't only just built a reputation for himself as being one of the top amateurs in the country over the years, but he's a shrewd man with big ambitions and large plans on making a statement and becoming a headliner, not only here in the UK, but around the world as well. And I think he's going to be an exciting one to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Kevin Parker. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing camouflage trunks and weighed in officially at 156.6 pounds. Coming to us from Vaslui, Romania, he has 94 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Octavian Gatti. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trimmed with gold and weighed in officially at 156.7 pounds. Hailing from Bradford, England, he had a stellar amateur career and now he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Hurricane Harris Akbar.
You both know the rules. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Seconds out.
Well, here we go. The professional debut of Haris Akbar in the black and gold shorts as he takes on Romania's Octavian Grati. Akbar was 9 years old when a boxing coach walked into his dad's butcher's and was mesmerised by the energy which he had. And that is where the story began. And this is another part of the story. The debut, the professional debut of an extremely talented amateur fighter who's caught the boxing world's eye over the years and got lots of people talking. So we'll see what he can do in the pro game, which is very different.
It looks like he's sitting it already. He's lining things up. Oh.
That was just a slip there for Grati.
He works very nicely on the lead hand. He's looking to make a statement here. He's got a lot of venom in his punches, and I can see why from the pedigree he has.
It's a solid right hand there from Akbar. Grati doesn't look like the sort of man who's going to stick around for too long, and he doesn't look like the sort of fighter who's going to stand there and throw nothing either. But Akbar is going to pile the pressure on here, you can sense. He's really putting some effort and some enthusiasm into these shots, Royston, isn't he?
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on it. He's making it very clear what he's all about from the first opening bell.
Oh, lovely left hook under the right elbow from Akbar.
I think that might have hurt him.
He's feeling that now as he's in the corner, and he just tucks up and tries to get himself out of the corner and off the ropes, because that is where Akbar will be most dangerous.
These are some nasty shots going in now, and the ref is having a close look at this.
Akbar stalking his man around the centre of this arena in Nottingham. Every single shot has a sound to it. There's a thud and a crunch to everything which he throws. The referee ain't very happy. And it looks like he's just having a chat with him about using his arm or using his forearm. I guess when he's leaning into those shots.
Lovely uppercut.
Grati snuck through with one there, just to remind him that he is there and he's a live opponent. I'll tell you what, Royston, if he keeps up that pace for 4 rounds, we'll know he's done him.
Yeah, for sure. If he keeps that up, and fair play to Gachi for that round, because if that was me, them body shots there was very sickening.
The best shot for me so far from Akbar is he really slams that left hook into the side of Grati, doesn't he? And you could just see how much he means every single shot. The dream of your debut is to stop your opponent, and he looks like he's got no intentions of doing anything else but that.
Yeah, for sure. He's putting his shots together nicely. He's setting a statement here in the way he's fighting, and if he keeps carrying on the same way, this is I think the ref might have to jump in.
Well, let's see how this second round goes with this one, which is scheduled for 4. Not much time to get the job done on these 4-rounders, but he's given it a very good go, is Akbar. Grati trying to have a go himself, but that jab is just disrupting the flow of any attack which he's trying to put on.
That was a sickening lead hook to the body. No, he's boxing very well here. If he keeps this up, the same pace, the same tempo, just a little bit more accurate, and he'd get the job done.
Good jabs, nice straight shots there from Harris.
You can definitely see the amateur career, like the pedigree out of him, the way he places these shots and the way he knows his way around the ring.
Akbar looks like he's just trying to set that right hand up off of his straight left hand over and over again, but Gratti was doing a good job.
Come in there.
But he got caught with a straight right hand there, and he is hurt, and he doesn't look too steady, and the referee's having a good look, and Akbar might be able to get the dream start to his pro career here as he just lets go a barrage of punches. The man from Romania's done very well to
weather that storm.
He really has.
Definitely had him hurt there, though. That all started off by the 1-2 straight down the pipe, and I think if he was a little bit more relaxed there, he would have got him done. But we've still got 2 more rounds to go, and I think he's definitely going to get the stoppage here.
It's looking likely, but that was a nice little right hand from Gratti, which just snuck through. And Akbar just smiles, and the blue gum shield shines through on his face as he looks like he's enjoying his professional debut. Nice left hook under the elbow of Gratti to finish that round. And you've got to say the Romanian's done well to, as you said, weather the storm there, because he did take some punishment. So to get off those ropes and then to give some
swinging,
back.
Definitely, for sure that takes a lot just to do that. But like you said, he's had 10 years of experience, only been ever stopped 3 times. He knows his job in there, he knows how to get through a fight, and Harris Akbar, he's showing a lot of skills, and he's doing the right things at the right time. Just maybe sometimes a little bit rushed, but from now on, I think it'll be punch perfect.
Akbar seems to have his man pinned for a moment, but just when you think he's going to get on top of him, Gratti gets out of there, doesn't he? But that's got to be experience, isn't it? Knowing how to keep your man there in the pro game. We know he's got a wealth of it when it comes to the amateurs, but keeping him where he wants him is a different ball game entirely.
Yeah, for sure. You're not looking to score points anymore, and like you're seeing in there, he's putting his shots in nicely, but also, like the other guy, he's very experienced. He knows when to throw shots when the ref is looking at him, and when things are happening, and he's doing a great job of that. But it's a very, very good debut.
Nice right hand, straight right hand, dipped into the body there. Oh, a nice lunging left hook to return from Gratti.
Yeah, Harris Akbar just needs to remind himself not to be too lazy in there and switch off.
Gratti looks like he's enjoying this just as much as Akbar is. Kind of smiled at him a couple of times there. Some of these fighters are mad for it, but that was a good jab upstairs and then followed it up, straight one to the midsection from Akbar, boxing in the orthodox stance in those black and gold shorts. Octavian Gratti in the camouflage shorts just keeps switching that stance keeping his man thinking at all times, and is as tough as they come.
He's doing a good job cutting down the ring here, Haris Akbar, where he's not following his opponent around the ring. He's slowly boxing it off and making it even a smaller circle.
Good straight 1-2 there from Akbar. It's a well-disciplined performance from Haris Akbar, who could have got carried away a few times here. But it's been a mature performance, and you can see those years and years and years of travelling the world on the amateur scene are having an effect here in his pro debut. What do you think the advice is in the corner there, Royston, for Akbar?
Just keeping his shape a little bit more, not putting so much into his punches, but maybe just keep the volume up a little bit more. He's given him enough time to breathe and recover after punches was landed, and it's allowing him to sort of like recuperate, to be honest. And then it's hard to get back where you had him, because if you keep punching and punching, you have no time to recover, but also you need to be wary about yourself. So put more punches out there, less power, and just be on your man a little bit more. First and third, and go again.
So is it about tempo and consistency at the same time? It's just, he's chopping away nicely, isn't he? But when he's pushing forward, is he letting him off the hook a little bit too much?
Yeah, like you hit the nail on the head there when you're saying just the consistency and the tempo of the punches. He just needs just to apply a little bit more pressure, just like he has been doing. Just take the power out and just keep consistently being on your man. It drains him, and that's when you can get the nice stoppage.
Well, let's see if he can do it. He's got just under 3 minutes to make sure that he wins this and doesn't get caught with anything silly. It's a nice right uppercut there as Grassi tried to make his way in. Lovely counter punch. Grant Smith in the corner of Haris Akbar, just shouting at that shot that he just sunk into the midsection had hurt him. And I think this comes down to the stuff that my co-coms Royston Barney-Smith was just saying about. He does some good work, but sometimes lets him off the hook a little bit. It's just about that tempo and that consistency. There's no doubt he's winning this and winning it comfortably.
Oh, it's been punch perfect, really. He hasn't really done a lot wrong. It'd just be nice just to see him just to be a bit more relaxed and just put the and pile on the pressure now and get the stoppage. But if he doesn't, it's a good 4 rounds, and it's a very, very mature performance for a pro debut.
Well said, that man, as Akbar just follows him round, which he's done for the majority of this fight and had it pretty much his own way 90% of the time, and done a good job in doing so. Good short right hand there from Akbar. Gratti well and truly on the back foot in the last 15 seconds or so of this fourth and final round. And Akbar really got some tempo in his feet as he moves forward continuously. I don't think he's going to get the job done, and he isn't in terms of stopping him at his professional debut. But as Royston said, it was pretty much punch perfect. And I'm sure that Akbar and his team will look back on it, and there'll be things which they will be pleased with and stuff which they'll want to do a bit more of next time, or change or amend or whatever it is. But a solid, mature and well-disciplined performance for the former amateur standout Haris Akbar here in Nottingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Kevin Parker, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner and successful in his professional boxing debut, Hurricane Haris Akbar.
A good work there from Haris Akbar. Big smiles on his face, and same for the team in the corner there. Solid performance. Plenty to be pleased and proud of there. And a moment I'm sure he dreamed of as a kid. And we look forward to seeing how his career unfolds over the coming years. That debut took it a while to come around for different reasons, but it's done and it's dusted.
Let's now welcome to the ring Cesar Ignacio Paredes.
Well, here comes Cesar Paredes, hailing from Peru in South America. We last saw him here in the UK on the undercard of Joe Joyce versus Philip Hergovich, where he boxed our very own Royston Barney Smith. And he didn't look too interested in getting too involved that night, which made it a bit of a frustrating evening's work for Barney Smith. So we'll see what he's bringing this evening when he boxes the Paris 2024 Olympian and bronze medalist Charlie Senior in just a moment.
And now let's welcome to the ring Charlie Senior.
Well, here we go. Charlie Senior looking ready and raring to go. Born in Bradford, but moved to Perth, Australia when he was just 2 years old. Home is Australia for him, and I'm sure there's plenty of people in Australia watching this, so good day to you. Early hours of the morning there, and an exciting moment for their friends, family and loved ones, and for the Paris 2024 bronze medalist Charlie Senior himself. Big smiles on his face as he makes his way to the ring here in Nottingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the featherweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Chris Dean. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 129.9 pounds. Coming to us from Lima, Callao, Peru. He brings a professional record consisting of 18 wins, 17 defeats, 1 draw, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cesar Ignacio Paredes. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with pink and weighed in officially at 128.5 pounds. Born in Bradford, England, and raised in Perth, Australia, he is a 2024 Olympic bronze medalist, and now he makes his highly anticipated professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Charlie Sr.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. Want to see a good, clean fight. Want to say break, you stop punching, take 1 pace back. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, here you go, Mike. COCOM's Louis Edmondson just said off air, I'm looking forward to this one. And he speaks for the many. The professional debut of Australia's Charlie Sr., Paris 2024 bronze medalist. The pro game starts right now as he boxes in the white and pink shorts there against Cesar Paredes of Peru, who gave a bit of a negative performance in his fight with Royston Barney-Smith. We'll see what Charlie Sr. is all about, but he's certainly one who's straight on that front foot, Louis.
He's looking to put the pressure on early. I think he's aware that his opponent's negative. He's looking to put a dent in him early.
And that was a really nice right hook, which he snuck under the left elbow of the man from South America immediately in the opening part of this round.
Switching through southpaw is nice.
Well, already, the senior is showing that he's a tidy boxer to watch. He's clearly very, very well schooled. You already mentioned and observed that he'd switched stances there. And I'm sure he'll be looking to show us a little bit of everything in his armour and what's to come.
Again, it's another very negative opponent and not the easiest to look good against.
Good educated pressure from Senior. He has got a bit of a negative opponent in front of him, but he's just edging closer and closer, trying to corner him, trying to keep him on those ropes.
In the 6th round as well, and he's putting the pressure on early, so let's see how his opponent here can hold up.
Good feints from Senior, who actually started off before he was boxing in breakdancing, and he stumbled across a boxing gym in the process of that, and that's how all of this started to come together. And they said that his footwork is pretty good from those breakdancing days.
Who knows, after he wins tonight, maybe we'll see some moves.
I tell you what, I can almost guarantee you'll see a backflip, because that's exactly what he did in Paris and what he's done in almost every notable win which he had in the amateur game. And I'm sure that'll be a celebration which continues. But he has a man to get through here, and a man who's giving him a hard night's work, in not terms of his ability or physically, but a hard night's work in terms of not letting him exert that energy in the way that he will probably want to be. So he's got to be psychologically switched on, hasn't he, Louis?
100%, as we saw earlier on. Got to be careful because they could be negative, and then burst out. So I'm pretty sure he's aware, but he's putting the pressure on early, and he's taking a little bit out of the gas tank of his opponent, and we'll see him start to go through the gears. It's got 5 rounds left.
Is that a tactical thing when it comes to the away corner fighters being negative, or do you think some fighters are just naturally negative fighters?
I think some fighters are definitely, but I think here he knows he's outskilled and outmatched in every department, so he's just trying not to take too much damage.
Seconds out, round 2.
And we go round 2, this one scheduled for 6. Still a couple more fights to come on this prelim show before the main event starts live on DAZN from 7 p.m. If you're just joining us, you're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and the British and Commonwealth light heavyweight champion Louis Edmondson, who will certainly have an eye on Ezra Taylor later on. But this is the pro debut of Charlie Senior as he just stalks his man around the centre of this ring in Nottingham and looks stylish in the process.
Just wants to be careful there, stay switched on, don't want to take nothing silly.
Nice to see something come back actually from Paredes.
Definitely a little sneaky uppercut got through there.
And the shoelace on the boxing boot of Paredes has come undone, so the action will be back underway in just a moment. Oh, Senior needs a breather.
Lovely shot.
Lead right hook there from Charlie Senior, which just kind of come out of nowhere. And he's a sort of fighter that can find those shots when he needs to. And Paredes looked like a man who was quite surprised then. And we'll see Senior stick his foot on the gas now and start to pile the pressure on. And this could be the dream professional debut for him. But Paredes is a man who's been there before. I will know every trick in the book to try and survive as he edges forward himself in that southpaw stance.
I mean, that pressure earlier on, give him that opening. So I'm pretty sure he's going to find many more of them now. Still a long time left in the fight.
Tell you what, that right hand which Senior just threw just landed and thudded on the gloves of Paredes. And if it hit the button, his legs would have gone, but it didn't, and he needs to find another opening.
Rocking the body.
Lightning speed from Senior. When Senior puts his shots together, Louis, Paredes looks a man who's a bit lost, doesn't he?
Definitely, and he's putting them together in the right time, so it's good to see. Nice and patient and waiting for the right openings.
Well, certainly a solid round for the man born in Bradford but raised and lived in Australia for a long time. Good round, that one. Lovely lead hook off the southpaw stance from Senior. Caught him out of nowhere with that. And that is a little taste of what's to come, isn't it? Especially when he's got someone who wants to fight and who's actually coming forward and has a bit of an aggressive style rather than a negative one.
Definitely switched through and lead right up. It was a lovely shot that put him down with. And I think we're going to see that a lot more as he goes through the levels.
Well, I'm sure those friends and family watching back in Australia were loving that one. We'll be eager for this third round of this one, scheduled for 6 to start.
Seconds out, round
And I've got to say, once Paredes hit the canvas, he actually woke him up a little bit and put a little bit in. It gave him the bit between his teeth, and he started to throw some more shots back. So he may well be one of those fighters who needs a bit of that to actually get him into the fight. But this is good pressure in the opening part of this third round from Charlie Senior.
Sneaky body shot got through there.
Lovely right hand to the body there. Right uppercut. Straight into the midsection from Senior. Solid body puncher, that's for sure.
Ooh, lovely uppercut. I think he's going to really start putting the pressure on now.
He really is. This is aggressive work from Senior. Every single shot which he's throwing is now unforgiving. There's no tapping now.
Lovely work.
Nice uppercut which came off that. Straight 1-2 from Senior. He looks to be enjoying himself in there. Looking stylish in the process. Good to see Paredes giving him a little bit back. Giving Senior a little bit of something to think about, which is just spurring him on even more. He's trying to keep his man in the corner there.
Lovely head movement there.
The last few seconds of this one, scheduled for 6. I'm not just saying this because he's been based in Australia for a long time, but Charlie Senior reminds me a bit of George Kambosos Jr. He throws those punches in bunches and he kind of got that bite in the gum shield style where he just comes forward and lets him go, doesn't he?
Definitely, he's got that flair about him, but he's spiteful as well. Good head movement, good feet, and spiteful when he wants to be.
What sort of information do you think they're feeding him in that Senior corner?
I heard Al Smith a little while ago just saying touch him up and work off the feints. I don't think he wants everything hard. Plenty of touches and then work when the right shots are on.
It must be quite hard to not get carried away when you want to do a job, don't you? You want those social media highlight reel knockouts, don't you? So it's quite disciplined, isn't it, to not get too carried away, I guess.
Definitely, and moving forward in these longer and harder fights, you got to be switched on throughout. Lovely body shots there.
Super quick body work there from Senior. Just drove one into the right-hand side of the body and then switched over to the left in an instant. And just feel like Paredes could get caught with a big shot upstairs at any point.
He's put the pressure on early, so there's going to be some mistakes unraveling in a minute, I believe.
Lovely work again. Brilliant work there from Senior. And I tell you what I said a couple of rounds ago, I stick by that. Paredes is being caught, and the more he's been caught, the less negative he's become. But mind you, Louis, I don't think he's had a choice, has he?
He hasn't really had a choice. He's put the pressure on early. He's been hitting them hard and spitefully from the word go. So it's yeah, we'll do well to see the fight out here.
Good combination work there from Senior. Nice uppercut, followed up with a couple of hooks upstairs. Both of those got through.
Oh, silly one got through there.
And a solid round, a solid end to this fourth round from Senior, who's been piling on the pressure from the sound of the opening bell. Looking good in the process. And Paredes, who is naturally a bit more of a negative fighter, like we saw with his bout with Royston Barney-Smith on the undercard of Hrgovic versus Joe Joyce not that long ago. He has come out of his shell a little bit, which is good to see, and it's gave Senior a little bit more to think about, but also a little bit more to do as well. And I'm sure the corner team have been happy with what they've seen so far, but he certainly don't look like a debutant, does he, Louis?
Definitely not. I mean, he's obviously had a lot of experience, that Olympic experience. He's used to the big stage, and you can see that he's used to it, man. It's private.
When you see someone perform like this in their debut, it's always interesting to see how much better they get as the fights go by. And I think Senior is going to be one of those who does some good things in the sport, and a welcome addition too. But this one is the penultimate round. Let's see if he can get his man out of there. 2 rounds to do so. Good timing there. Lovely timing. Paredes breathing heavy in there. He's earned his money tonight.
And Charlie's been spiteful from the start, so no doubt we're starting to feel it now. He really wants that stoppage. I'm getting the feeling that he really wants it.
Lead up, which Senior throws, really is lightning fast. It comes out of nowhere. He almost throws it from his hips, which catches Paredes off guard. And there it is again. Good pressure from Senior. Senior just picking his shots now. Spent a bit of time in this round, not necessarily on the back foot, but not necessarily on the front foot either.
Lovely body shot there. I don't know if it was a little bit low, but looked like it hurt him a little bit.
It's a good point about being a bit low. That abdominal groin guard is quite high on Paredes, and quite surprised actually that the referee allowed to have him have it that high throughout this fight. But there's not been any problems so far. A good consistent work rate from Senior. Well, this is what's coming up in a bit. Cooper versus Congo. 50-50 fight. Bound to be a cracker. Liam Davies, who seems incredibly happy in boxing at the moment, has got another live opponent. And it's a bit of a comeback fight for Davies as he fights Walker. Taylor versus Jones in my man Louis Edmonton's division. And then, of course, the big one, Anthony Cacace versus Leigh Wood. Those two never in a boring fight. Leigh Wood always seems to find something from somewhere. Will he be able to do it against the extremely talented Anthony Cacace tonight? All of that coming up live on DAZN from 7 p.m.
Seconds out, 6th and final round.
A final round in the pro debut of the extremely talented Team Australia boxer Charlie Senior, who's brought Peru's Paredes out of his shell, who's normally a fairly back foot negative fighter. He was down in the second round, was Paredes.
Really putting them together now.
Good boxing this from Senior, just not falling into any traps, standing his ground, catching his man with the shots which he needs to catch him with, and not getting carried away at any point. This has been a really mature, disciplined performance, and every shot which he's thrown in this round so far have been pretty unforgiving and venomous. And I'm sure the only thing on his mind and his team's mind is about the win, looking good.
Silly one there.
And not getting caught with silly ones like that, but I'm sure he would absolutely love to get a stoppage. Senior doing some good work here. And Paredes just kind of soaking it up and awkwardly moving out the way. And coming back, but that was a nice right hook there from Senior. And Paredes takes it and just kind of grins at him ever so slightly. Senior inviting his man onto the ropes. He knows he's won this comfortably as we go into the last few seconds of the 6th and final round. A solid professional debut. Some really good work, some impressive work. And a smile when they touch the gloves between the two fighters, which is always brilliant to see. A fight to look forward to watching in the future, Louis.
100%. He's flashy, he's got a nice kid, he's got a good aura about him. He can punch a little bit, it looks like. He can move with good head movement, good feet. I'm looking forward to watching him.
Flashy is a good word to use. You're right, he's flashy, but for me, just the right amount.
Yeah, definitely, he's not overdoing it, but yeah, look forward to watching him progress.
Well, we know where this one's going, but Thomas Schreiber are just getting confirmation, and he will tell us what the score was in just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Chris Dean, scores the contest 59-54 for your winner and successful in his professional boxing debut, Charlie Sr.
Well, a very well done to Charlie Sr. That was always going that way. And he showed us some good stuff there. He showed us that he can box on the front foot, on the back foot. He's defensively sound. He's got good shot selection. And like Louis picked up on, he's flashy, but maybe just the right amount. And look, boxing is the entertainment business, so I'm sure he's going to be an entertaining fighter to watch.
Are we going to see the backflip?
I said the backflip. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it, look.
Maybe next time.
Well, he joins Dev now, so we'll head over to them.
Senior, I mean, a bit of razzle, bit of dazzle. You had a fight when you had to have a fight. What a debut!
No, it was good. Great arena again. Thanks to Frank Warren and everyone at Queensbridge for getting me on. And it was an alright debut. Like, just bringing out everything, like here and there, bits and pieces. Not my best performance, but you can always do better. So I done that.
Big knockdown that you scored in there as well. I was watching with Royston Barney-Smith, who fought him last time. He called it a sexy punch.
I appreciate that. Like, he had a good fight. I watched it over as well. But that was, it was a good knockdown. I didn't see it. Like, it just happened in the moment, didn't it? So, yeah.
Congratulations. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Victor Chavarko.
Well, here is Victor Chavarko, one of only 2 heavyweights registered as professionals in Belarus. He's boxed all over Europe over the past few years. He's won some, he's lost some, he's knocked people out, he's been knocked out. You never really know which version of Chavarko is going to turn up. But one thing you do know is he doesn't go down easy. And you'll see that. He's a tough cookie in just a moment.
And now let's welcome the undefeated Lewis Williams.
Well, making his way to the ring is Lewis Williams of Leamington Spa. He's already done a lot in his career, winning gold at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. And in that same year, he won bronze at the European Championships. And let me tell you, winning anything at European Championships in the amateurs is one hell of an achievement in itself. He's a talented fighter. He's in the big boy division, which is always exciting to watch. Early on into his career, but we look forward to seeing more of what he's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the heavyweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riot Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Kevin Parker. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing a black trim with gold and weighed in officially at 218.6 pounds. A native of Belarus, he is now fighting out of Warsaw, Poland, and has 28 professional bouts to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Viktor Chvarko. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing a white and black and weighed in officially at 226 pounds. Hailing from Leamington Spa, England, he is undefeated with 2 wins. One of his 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lewis Williams.
Lewis, you both know the rules. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, here we go. Bout number 3 for Commonwealth gold medalist Lewis Williams. 6 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division.
Seconds out.
Williams boxing out of those white and black Muhammad Ali style shorts against Belarus's Viktor Chvarko. A good strong start there from Williams, just taking the centre of that ring, trying to establish that jab.
Looks very strong.
Well, he's definitely got the boxing ability. I just watched him for a few seconds there, and he works nicely behind the lead hand and got a meaningful jab on him. It'll deter a lot of people like it is right now.
He looks relaxed in the process, does Williams.
He's been on the big stage many times, as you can see. He looks like he's born to be there.
That must help, right? When you've won a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. That helps, doesn't it, in these situations and scenarios? Surely.
Yeah, for sure. He's boxed top quality all his life, by the sounds of it, and getting a gold from the Commonwealth Games is a very, very big achievement, and also a bronze in the European Championships at such a big weight as well. At heavyweight, it's where the big boys lay, and when you're doing it on top levels like that, securing medals, and it means you have got what it takes to mix it with the best.
Fairly careful opening round here from Williams. Chvarko getting caught with that jab and that short lead hook. Needs to be careful of that shot, because there's a couple of times that one's got through from Williams.
I think Chvarko's a little bit worried already. He's copped a couple on his nose, and he's a little bit weary of the power.
Williams won his pro debut by stoppage in the second round. He's got punching power there as well as the boxing ability.
Lovely little body shot there as well.
And a very steady opening round here. Hasn't necessarily given us much to talk about at all, but Williams in full control there. And to be fair, most opening rounds start slow, don't they? Because, well, you guys are the fighters. What are you trying to work out in those opening 3 minutes?
what they're good at doing, what their strengths are. Can they punch a bit? Will they be able to take their power? And that's all the things you think about while you're in there in the first opening round. And as you seen, when it was closing off, he was getting to him a little bit more. He was applying the pressure and coming in with a few bigger shots. And I think he's assessed the situation now, and I think you will see him go to work a little bit more.
And Louis, what do you expect to see Williams doing in the second round here?
Again, I agree with Royston there. I think he's having, in the first round, having a little look, having a little few responses, seeing where the openings are. And yeah, I think he didn't want to rush nothing, but I do believe this round and the next round we're going to really see him go for the gears. And yeah.
Seconds out, round 2.
Well, let's see if we see any of that.
He's got a very nice jab, though, like the way he throws it. It's very relaxed and just comes out nice. That lands just perfectly on the other fella's nose.
Yeah, his nose is reddened quite a bit early on.
Svarkov,
good accuracy.
Maybe a long lost brother of Stone Cold Steve Austin, who knows?
It's a good observation. I don't know what your Russian's like, but we might be able to find out later.
Good job there.
I wouldn't mind just seeing him follow up a little bit more. After he lands a nice jab, maybe go again and go again. And getting something, a response off of him where you can land a nice counter punch.
In the heavyweight division, you know, being able to punch is vitally important, isn't it? Of course it is in any weight, but when it comes to the big boys, if you can knock people down and you can knock people out, it's eye-catching stuff.
He hurt him there with that right hand.
He did.
He did hurt him. He's gone on the back foot now. Hopefully he can go about it in the right way and keep applying the pressure and keep landing big shots like that.
Three people have managed to get Shevchenko out in the distance before. We've seen him box many a time. He just seems to be one of those fighters who doesn't go anywhere very easily. I think Williams is starting to find that out. Let's see if he can find the shot to change that. That was a good shot, that left hand.
Two combo there. Around the sides and up through the middle, and he is getting to him now. He's going through the gears a little bit more. He's showing the opponent what he's about.
Got really good feet for a heavyweight, has Williams. Moves in and out quick, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Like the way he places his feet, he knows his way around the ring. He's not giving up bad positions. He's keeping him at bay and pushing him back.
The last few seconds of this second round of this one, scheduled for 6. Not too different to the opening round. Lewis Williams just going through the motions, establishing that jab over and over again. Has got through with the odd punch. But again, I guess you guys just want to see a bit more, don't you? You want to just see him follow on with those shots.
Yeah, for sure. Once you catch someone and you know they're hurt, you need to follow it up, and that's when the stoppages come, because you're not giving them a chance to breathe or trying to recover. But when you land that good shot and you walk away, they're like, oh, I can relax now, I can try and recuperate, and they'll get the distance back, and then they'll walk around and take a breather. I'd just like to see him just apply a little bit more pressure. He's doing everything well at the minute, don't get me wrong, he's punched perfect, he hasn't been hit clean, he's been landing nice shots. I would just like him just a little bit more on the lead hand, coming forward and throwing a few more clinical punches.
Definitely, and I mean, everything's at the same tempo and the same strength, so I think Shevchenko's kind of bracing for each shot.
Do you think there's anything which is making Williams wary of going in and letting his hands go a little bit more?
I don't think so. No, he hasn't been clipped with anything yet, as we've seen. Lovely body work there.
He's certainly up the tempo at the start of this round.
Definitely. Like putting shots like that in, that's what slows opponents down and breaks them down. And when you can do it relaxed like the way he is, working behind the lead hand and then coming on the inside and letting threes and fours go, that's what gets opponents out of there.
He likes that left hook, a little roll that left hook on. Nice.
Good work off the jab from Williams. He's not getting too much off of that jab, but the jab is scoring over and over again. And it's disrupting any form of attack from Chivarko. See what you're saying about that left hook, Louis. He really likes that sort of short left hook, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he just kind of whips it in out of nowhere.
100%, and I think where he works well off the jab, it brings the right hand forward, and he likes to roll that left hook on behind their backhand. It's nice.
That's a bit better work there. Just need to take yourself out of distance a little bit and not be allowed to get hold.
Good lead uppercut there, nice and short. And Chivarko made an entrance. He was stung with that.
No, it's another good round by Lewis.
For Lewis Williams in full control. I think maybe it'd be a bit harsh if I said Chivarko was a really negative fight. I just don't think he's kind of at that level to compete with Williams, and every time he tries to do something, Williams is just too good to allow him to do anything, Louis.
He's just, he's too good in every department, really. His feet too good, his hands are too good, he's too strong, he's too fast, he's too clever. He's outmatched him in every department.
It reminds me a little bit, Royston, of your last fight, where I was commentating on it, and I can't remember, it was Zach Miller I was working with, and me and Zach turned to each other and said, Royston looks bored.
Yeah, it is the fact that where sometimes where you have to maybe force the opening to yourself, maybe they're not going to give it to you, and I can see that in here. He's getting frustrated. He's thinking, I'm just walking around and there's nothing really happening. But that's when you've got to tell yourself, like, right, I have to try and push the tempo myself now. I've got to make something happen. But not getting too carried away with it in the such as where you're falling over yourself. It's just that you keep creeping a little bit more closer. You keep piling the pressure a bit more. You're letting your hands go a little bit more.
Well, good right hand to the body from Williams there. So he starts this fourth round with a bit more purpose on the front foot.
Everything looks spiteful with this lead hand here from Williams, doesn't it? Lovely body shot.
A lovely body shot that did.
Good little body shot back there from him.
Shvarko just looks like he's trying to make his way at Williams to grab hold of him. I don't know if that's because he's just starting to get knackered now, or he doesn't want any shots coming back at him at all, but it's going to make it a bit of a dull and messy fight if he carries on. But that's down to Williams to use those straight shots of his. And there's that little short left hand he throws with the hook.
That was nice, that hurt him there. He needs to follow up on that.
The well-placed shot, well-timed shot.
That was nice. Nice switch up to the body with that jab. I'd just like him just to pile on the pressure a little bit more. That was a lovely shot.
It's going to be a tough 2 rounds for Charcoal. I know that. Good body shot. Lovely jab to the body.
Good jab and footwork there from Williams. And you know when Shvarko's just been caught with something, because you can see that his body language changes and he starts to go on that back foot.
Another good round by Williams. Catch some nice shots there. He's up in the tempo like I said he should do, and he was getting him hurt there. He hurt him a couple of times in that round, and it was a very, very good round by Lewis.
I think what we've got to remember with some of these away corner fighters, and a lot of them really, is they're not all here because they want to, get wins on their record. They're here because it's a job, and they're gatekeepers, and survival is, one of the big things. And they're going to fight the next week, aren't they?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And Shvarko is one of those typical kind of away corner fighters who will do everything in his power to make sure that he's just still standing by the end of the round, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. It's a job at the end of the day. They're looking to survive and get their next paycheck. But hopefully Lewis can up the gears now and in these last 2 rounds and get the job done.
Well, can he do it? 2 rounds to go. Shvarko just closing the distance between them to make sure that those long levers of Lewis Williams don't get fully extended onto his chin. Good body work there from Williams.
He's going to be sore tomorrow on the midsection, that's for sure. Lovely right hand over the top there.
I can see Lewis just getting a bit frustrated there, where he's thinking something's going to come back where it should normally happen. He's just looking to tuck up and cover it. And Lewis just needs to find his spots just like that. He needs to find his spots a little bit more better and apply the pressure. A lovely body shot that was.
So he's got quick hands for a heavyweight as Williams.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely don't move like a heavyweight or punch like one. And he's very fast and he's very accurate. That's nice work on the inside, getting your head to one side and allowing to land them 3 or 4 punches on the inside there.
That one hurt him. That left hook, it was a jab and then followed up with a left hook.
I think he really wants the stoppage now. He's really putting some spiteful shots in.
Well, every single fight on this prelims undercard so far has gone the distance. One more fight after this one, which will be the extremely talented Sam Noakes, before the main event card starts live on DAZN from 7 p.m. And 4 crackers on that one for you. And here is that main event card again. Royston, briefly, who are you looking forward to the most? And can we get a prediction for the main event as well? You might be a little bit biased because one half of the main event is a gym, mate.
Yeah, for sure. A cracking fight between Cooper and Congo. I also train with Congo. I'm excited to see what Congo brings to that fight, because he's got the experience and he's got the ring IQ and
he's
Cooper,
in incredible shape as well.
He is, and Cooper comes to fight. He comes to win at the end of the day. The cracking fight with Ackerman.
What about you, Louis?
I think obviously I'm really looking forward to the Taylor and Jones fight. And yeah, all the fights on the card, the crackers really. Again, Cooper, Congo's in serious shape. I think all the fights on the card are really good fights. I'm looking forward to all of them, to be fair.
They're very good 50-50 fights on paper, so it'll be a cracking show.
Well, we look forward to it. And it will be here before you know it. And the seats in the arena just starting to slowly get filled up. It is a sellout in here. So by the time that the main event comes around, every single seat will be occupied. And by the time that Wood and Cacace come out, this place should be rocking. And this is good work here
very
for
nice work. He's putting the
Lewis
punches
Williams
together there in the corner. He has started that attack from.
Shvarko coming back with a right hand over the top of his own. A bit naughty there from Shvarko.
Tried to sneak Southernkin, didn't he? He knows he's in the wrong, but he needed something, I suppose.
I think clash of heads might.
This sort of distance here works for Shvarko. He stayed there all day.
Oh, what a lovely body shot. He's starting to put a bit more venom in now.
He's getting a little bit too close, which is allowing Shvarko to just shut the distance, smother and have a little break, and he gets 10, 15, 20 seconds rest each time. So I'd like to see a little bit of space behind the shots when they land.
Shvarko just having a bit of a talking to from the referee here. Just over a minute to go in a pretty uneventful 6-rounder in the heavyweight division.
There's that left hook again. That one hurt him for sure.
Starting to get through with a few of them now is Williams. Is it too little, too late as we go into the final 30 seconds?
Lovely little jack hook there.
And finally, a bit of fire between the pair of them. And a good right hand there from Williams. The last few seconds of this one, and it has been a frustrating bout for Williams, who's tried plenty. But Shvarko is the sort of fighter who could do 15 rounds like this if you allow him to. And the last few rounds he's just been in trying to tie Williams up and not allowing him to use those long levers in any way, shape or form. But a comfortable decision. and surely he moves to 3-0. But Louis, you had a similar fight to this in your last fight, didn't you? When you defended your Commonwealth title, the second half of it, your opponent became incredibly negative, and it just made life very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it can be like that because you've still got to be aware, you know. And last guy could punch a little bit as well. We had a good few knockouts, and then so still don't go chasing them all for something stupid. So it's not always the most crowd pleasing fight, but you get the wins. It's the most important thing, and move on to the next one. I think Williams looks a little bit frustrated, and.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Kevin Parker, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner, and still undefeated, Lewis Williams. Let's now welcome to the ring, Patrick Balaj.
Well, here comes 26-year-old Patrick Balaj with a winning record from the Czech Republic. He's a bit of an unknown quantity, having never boxed here in the UK or against anyone with a familiar name. But one thing's for sure, he's got a serious talent who will be in the opposite corner in a moment. But these unknown quantities can sometimes be quite dangerous, and there's plenty of fighters who have slipped up against opponents who we've not known much about.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Sam Midge Noakes.
And here comes the very well-known Sam Noakes, British, Commonwealth and former European lightweight champion. His last fight was on the undercard of Denzel Bentley versus Brad Pauls at Wembley Arena, where he boxed Ryan Walsh and did a very, very good job there. He's solid and has a serious work ethic about him. And to tell you the truth, this is meant to be a bit of a tick-over fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. Riyadh Season, 32 Red, Unibet, That Prize Guy, and Global Next Trade. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Chris Dean. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with gold lettering and weighed in officially at 141 pounds. Coming to us from Czech Republic, he brings a professional record of 13 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, 5 of his 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patrick Balaj. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 141.7 pounds. Hailing from Maidstone, Kent, England, he is undefeated with 16 wins, 14 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the current British, Commonwealth, and WBO International Lightweight Champion, Sam Midge Noakes.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. I want to see a good, clean fight. I say break, you stop punching, take one pace back. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Seconds out.
Well, here we go, the final bout on this prelim show. We've had 7 bouts so far. This is the 8th and final one before the main broadcast starts live on DAZN. Sam Noakes, who I'm sure many boxing fans watching this will be very familiar with. An extreme talent here in the UK.
Started fast.
Lovely right hand
stunned
there
him.
from Noakes.
He's a very good finisher, Noakes. When he gets someone in trouble, he does know how to take care of them.
And Balazs already finds himself in the canvas, and the referee sees that as a knockdown.
He's going to do well to see the round out. Still a long time left.
And Noakes surely will put his foot on the gas now and just let go barrages of punches. As you said, he's a good finisher. And Balazs just trying to tie Noakes up.
Oh.
I tell you what, if Balazs finds himself on the ropes or in the corner for too long, Noakes will let him know about it, just like he did a moment ago.
I think he's just going to have a look at him now, try and get a few rounds in. They tick over and going to get him out there later on.
Lovely right hand there from Noakes. Everything comes off that jab of his.
I think Balazs will do good to see this round out, to be honest.
Another good right hand over the top there from Sam Noakes.
He's very explosive, isn't he? He comes in a small package, and when he gets on your chest, he's very hard to get off, and he releases punches very powerful.
Balazs just trying to stand his ground here, trying to establish his own jab.
Good jab there.
But Noakes clearly
He's got one intention in there, and it's going to hurt Balazs.
And Noakes clearly the better operator here. The last few seconds of this opening round, and Balazs has done well to make it. He has been caught left, right and centre. That straight right hand of Noakes has been the shot over and over again, Royce, and he's caught him with it, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. He can't get out of the way of him. Whatever Sam does, he's landing. It's just one of them nights for Sam where everything's just going so well, and definitely you've seen it there when he put him over. He had him hurt in the first 35 seconds, and he's only coming here to do a demolition job, to be honest. That's the way it looks to me.
This ain't going a distance, is it, Louis?
Definitely not. Yeah, it's going to be over soon.
Well, let's see how the second round goes. As he said, this was or is intended to be a bit of a keep busy fight for Sam Noakes, who's knocking on world title doors, already won the British, the Commonwealth and the European. And every single time that you think that he's going to have a bit of a test in front of him, he shows you that he can go up another level.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Noakes straight out on that front foot, establishing that straight left hand to the midsection of Patrick Balazs. And Balazs coming back with a couple of decent shots of his own.
With a couple.
He's game, that's for sure.
I think Noakes just needs to not allow Balazs to get into his groove, doesn't he?
To be honest, I don't think it matters, because I know Sam very well, and the way he operates, nothing really matters until he gets there and when he unloads.
For Noakes, at the moment that a referee breaks him apart, he's just itching and gunning for his man to come forward, and that right hand which he throws over the top of Balaj's left guard is catching him almost every single time.
Seek and destroy from the word go from Noakes.
The corner of Balaj are really going for it. They've got some enthusiasm for their man. Good right hand again from Sam Noakes.
Popping his head up with that jab, and I think he's going to try and take him out with the other end.
Balaj just snuck a right uppercut through the middle of the guard of Noakes, didn't worry him for a second note, and returns with his own lead uppercut. This is a good effort from Patrick Balaj. And a solid end to the round for Noakes, but Royston, when it comes to Sam Noakes, he's that type of character and that type of fighter that it's not a case of if he catches his man, it's when, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. He won't give up until he gets in his own groove and starts finding his own shots. Here right now, he's just so much physically stronger than the opponent, where he can pretty much just bully him in a sense, where he can just catch him when he wants to at will sometimes, but he's just waiting to try and catch him with that perfect shot, and it's definitely going to come.
And what do you reckon they're saying to Noakes in that corner, Louis? What advice would you be giving him?
I'd be telling him just to relax a little bit. I think he's a little bit too eager trying to get the knockout. I feel like it will come. Last round, I know Balaj was big and deep and he was a bit panicky, so it was a little bit scrappy, but I think Sam will slow it down a bit now, and I do believe he is going to find a knockout.
And Noakes straight out on that front foot. And Balaj, bit of an awkward character, trying to find his way in with that jab to the body.
He's definitely woke up after the first round, Balaj.
And Noakes just gauging his distance now and getting to the place where he feels comfortable. And that was a nice jab from him. Snapped the head back of Patrick Balaj, and the sweat bounced off his head and glimmered in the brightness of the lights here in Nottingham as he just starts to pile the pressure on a bit by bit.
Punch perfect really so far by Sam. He hasn't really missed the shot.
He hasn't put a foot wrong, has he?
No.
As Balaj gets more tired as well, the openings are going to open up more and he's going to catch one.
That was a lovely 1-2 straight down the pipe.
Good, he dug his feet in there, did Noakes, and let that left hand go. And Balaj is Well and truly on that back foot as Noakes just continues to stalk him round this boxing ring. Following him around. And that one thumped.
I heard that one.
He's just such a wrecking ball in there, isn't he? When he comes in close, they can't keep him off him.
And Noakes has got no other motion than forward, hasn't he? And he's just continuously...
he's done.
And it looks like Ballage has had enough there.
He's holding his hand.
He's holding his wrist or his hand. Something's not right with him there. And the referee has called it off. And it looks like that is definitely the right decision. Something's happened with the left hand or wrist of Patrick Ballage.
I don't think it was his hand. What was the issue there? But fair play to him. He's stuck in there for a few rounds and he gives Midge some work. But good performance.
But it was clearly a shot which has sent him down, but he keeps moving his right hand and his wrist about. And he's shaking it there, so goodness knows what's happened to him. We'll find out later on. But looking pretty uncomfortable, but there we go. Sam Noakes returns.
I think he was getting a little bit too hot in there. And, yeah, he wanted out.
There we go. The fighters ringside have called it. And that is the 8 fights done and dusted here on the prelims. And Sam Noakes, without doubt, shows the type of fighter and the level which he's operating at. And surely it won't be that long
until he's knocking on world doors.
World level doors. He's up there, isn't he, Royston?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. He's one of the best super lightweights out there. He's a wrecking ball, and you can see why he's just put on that performance there. And he gets up for more of a fight when he gets more of a challenge. He trains harder, he's everything better. You get more focused on the night, and you're going to see that when he fights these top level fighters for these wild positions now.
Breaking people down mentally and physically.
Well, he had 14 knockouts on his record before this. That's now number 15. He's not just a good boxer, he's not just entertaining, but he stops people in the process. And we go back to that word of entertaining. He's got it all, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone like paying and watching a stoppage come or a knockout. That's called the entertainment game, and he ticks that box.
He does well. It looks like Patrick Ballage is going to join the referee in the centre of the ring in a moment. So Thomas Triber can tell us the official time of the stoppage, and he is ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 17 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Chris Dean, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Sam Midge Noakes.
Well, congratulations to Sam Noakes, and good to see him showing the respect as he always does to the opposite corner, posing in the ring. And in just a moment, he's just going to make his way to ringside, where he'll join Dev for a chat. And you can bet your bottom dollar, and the question is going to be, what next for you, Mr. Noakes? And we hope that he'll get that opportunity that he's been working at for a very, very long time, and proved for a long time that he deserves. And that is him on that world stage. And he's a sort of fighter that absolutely deserves it. But he's just making his way past us now in the commentary position here. Well, he's gone back to his changing rooms, but don't worry, someone's grabbed hold of him. He is now on his way to Dev. And we will throw to him now.
Sam, great to see you. I know you tried to run off without an interview.
No, we're running off. I just didn't know no one cared. It was like, right, when he walks, you walk. So I walk right away, innit? But
everyone cares. It's great to see you. And listen, another knockout. Your first 8 rounds. I told you it wasn't going to go 8 rounds.
I know, I was glad. To be fair, we watched him, yeah, and the whole time it's like, oh, we'll just get to keep busy fighting. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, no, this is when people get complacent and slip up. I watched him and I thought, well, he's a bit of a tougher geezer than we thought he'd be. And then even in there, but I think after round 2, when I sat down, I could see that the distress signals were coming out, but I've been ill all week, so I've been lucky just to get in and out. Yeah, that's why I've been hiding in my hotel room. Didn't want to spread it to no one, so I just thought, you know what, the whole time in the changing room, I want to just get done, get home, and then on to the next one. Hopefully have a big fight in the summer.
Did you need that though, in terms of like, because I've heard all this about a big fight in the summer, bit of rust gone there, another knockout, bit of momentum, right?
Yeah, I just think you can't sit out in the ring for ages and go straight into a big fight. Even though it weren't a lightweight, you still got to do the whole fight week. Well, I ain't had to do much pressing this week, to be honest. It ain't been too bad, but you need that walking in the change room. You need that, and then ready to go again. It don't feel such like a distant memory like December feels ages ago. So it's just nice to get this done out of the way, and then as you say, roll on to a big one in 10 weeks' time.
What is it then? Because I'm hearing things. What do you want? What do you want next? Because it feels like you're due now some big fights.
Payday, we want payday. Nah, you know anyway. If I can't, I don't know if I can say.
I ain't saying it.
Mate, you're Mr. Queensbridge. Now listen, I don't know if I'm allowed to divulge, but keep tuned. There's going to be a big one in the summer, and I think it's going to be a cracking of a fight.
Sam, congratulations.
Christy, cheers, Deb. See you later on.
Christy indeed. Well, that was a Christy chat with Mr. Sam Noakes, and what a night it's been so far in Nottingham. We've got something big, of course, coming up very shortly on DAZN, where it's the main event. It's all happening. Leigh Wood, Anthony Cacace, right here in Nottingham, the Hurt Game. We are now just minutes away from 7 o'clock, where we go live on DAZN. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.